Welcome to Channel 18 News. I'm Jim Rogers. Surveillance at a residence on Middle Street in Sulphur Springs ended when Sabrina Rochelle Palfkin, age 49, drove away from her residence. A felony traffic stop by the Special Crimes Unit allowed them to serve a warrant for her arrest. She also had approximately 2 grams of methamphetamine on her person, which was found as she was booked into Hopkins County Jail. Palfkin also told officers there was additional meth in her residence. Less than 1 gram of meth was recovered in the residence. At the residence, Special Crimes Unit found Edward Lee Wilson, age 55, who admitted to having meth in his room. He led officers to the meth and handed it to them. Palfkin is in Hopkins County Jail, charged with manufactured delivery controlled substance penalty group 1, more than 4 grams but less than 200 grams in a drug-free zone, manufactured delivery controlled substance penalty group 1, more than 1 gram but less than 4 grams in a drug-free zone, and possession of a controlled substance penalty group 1, less than 1 gram in a drug-free zone. She's being held on bonds totaling $100,000. Wilson is charged with possession of a controlled substance penalty group 1, less than 1 gram in a drug-free zone. A vehicle traveling at 79 miles per hour in a 70 mile per hour zone on State Highway 11 East was observed by a Hopkins County deputy. He conducted a traffic stop at a convenience store in Como where Therese Pryor, age 60, of Sulphur Springs, failed a sobriety test, and later a blood alcohol test showed her to be above the legal limit. It was her 3rd arrest for driving while intoxicated, a state jail felony. Pryor is in Hopkins County Jail, charged with DWI 3rd, held on a $20,000 bond. The first public hearing of an annexation of Pioneer Business Park and a public hearing for Heritage Business Park were conducted Tuesday night. It was conducted during the special session of the Sulphur Springs City Council. A hearing for each business park was conducted, and the second public hearing for each business park will be tonight at 7 p.m. in the City Council chambers of City Hall, 210 North Davis Street. No one spoke Tuesday regarding Heritage Business Park annexation. Heritage Business Park is located on the east side of the city of Sulphur Springs. Opportunity to speak again will be tonight. Annexation of Pioneer Business Park, located on the west side of Sulphur Springs, did receive questions from Tim Dollison, a manager of an industry that moved from California to the local business park. Dollison asked the council and city staff what benefits his business would receive if annexed. He was concerned that their facility meeting city codes and how those codes would affect expansion of the facility in the future would create issues. He said the industry moved to Sulphur Springs and Hopkins County to be able to expand quickly without the need of the permitting process. He also questioned inspections of his facility. He wanted to know if the facility would have to undergo changes that meet current city code. City staff told Dollison that the city would be required to provide full municipal services to the industries in the business park. Those services include, but are not limited to, police and fire protection, water and sewer services. The local business parks are developed by the Sulphur Springs Hopkins County Economic Development Corporation. The industrial parks currently have city water and sewer provided. The annexation of the properties would provide increased tax revenue for the city. Many of the industries located in the parks have tax abatement agreements with the local hospital district and the county. Schools cannot offer tax abatements except in a strictly structured system for which most local industries do not qualify. Again, tonight, 7 p.m. at City Hall, the second public hearing for both annexation issues. During the Tuesday, January 8th special session of the Sulphur Springs City Council, the council heard a report from the Architects Council of Governments. They heard a report from Assistant Fire Marshal David James. They conducted the public hearings on the annexation process, approved updating various electrical, building, and maintenance codes, discussed savings on tax note sales and certificates of obligation, and received bids for the summer paving program. Assistant Fire Marshal David James informed the council that an 18-month study has led to the lowering of the ISO ratings for the city. With a rating of 1 being the best and a rating of 10 being poor, the city has now been given a rating of 2. The lower rating will mean lower insurance costs for businesses and residents. The closest cities with a rating of 2 are Tyler and Sherman. The rating is based on emergency communication, water distribution, and hydrants and fire services. James said the prevention safeguards in place for the city have increased, and that too assisted with the better rating. Chris Brown, Executive Director for the Architects Council of Governments, informed the City Council regarding the work of the nonprofit state-mandated political subdivision that encompasses 10 counties. There are 27 regional planning council of governments in the state of Texas. The Council of Governments are responsible for the 911 system, and that allows first responders and law enforcement to locate addresses. They have introduced text to 911 in this region and 2 primary rural regions nearby. The Council of Governments also oversees financial investments in environmental, homeland security, criminal justice, and the TRAC system. The TRAC system is a rural transportation system for elderly and disabled. They supervise Section 8 housing, advocacy for the elderly, 504 small business loans, and economic development in the region are also the focus for the Council of Governments. Sales tax receipts for the city of Sulphur Springs are up 10% over last year and over revenued budget. City water and sewer receipts are also above the revenue budget, thus the city continues a solid course for income. The council unanimously approved all items on the agenda. They will see a few tweaks in the city charter, which the tweaks include mandates from the state, and charter has now been changed to conform to current local practice as well. No major changes have been made in the charter. The charter will be reviewed again in 10 years. 3 miles of streets will be in the summer paving program as the city begins the first phase of the 5-year program, and initial steps for tax notes for the 2019 budget and refunding of 2009 certificates of obligation are underway. The refunding of the certificates of obligation could save the city as much as $600,000 to $700,000, depending on interest rates, as they will be found in May. The City Council does not have to call for the refunding of the certificates of deposit if interest rates will not produce any savings for the city. Here's Don Julian with sports.
The Lady Cats basketball team evened their district record at 1-1 with an impressive 57-35 win at Lindale on Tuesday evening. A good, solid start led to the win, according to Lady Cats coach Brittany Tisdale.
Lindale was a good game for us. We came out, we got to work on the press with everybody. So all of our subs got to work on the press in that game. So that was good for us and good practice for us, especially in a district game, getting to still practice your press is a big deal. So the fact that everybody got to come in and practice our press, that was a very big deal for that game. And defensively all around, we just played really well, and that's what helped us secure that win and allow us to do that. Offensively, they stayed in a zone the whole game, so we moved the ball well and took care of the ball for the most part pretty well. Didn't put up a lot of shots or anything like that, but just controlled the ball. And so all of our subs came in, and we did a good job all around during Lindale.
So you do all that, and it gets you a big lead, and you just hung on to it most of the evening, I guess.
Yes, that pretty much exactly what happened. Got a good lead off of it, and then just hung on to it, and then we got to work on some stuff. So.
What about the scoring? Who got the points for you?
Right out the gate, it was Danielle Godbolt. She came out, and I think in 3 minutes she scored 12 points. So. Wow. She was a scoring machine when we started the game. And then, of course, Sadavia Porter came out on top with her points. She had some big points. She put up some big three-pointers for us. So.
All right. Were they a tall team, Lindale? Or?
They actually had quite a bit of height. I was shocked at how tall they were in person, because on film they didn't look that tall, but in person they had quite a bit of height. And even their underclassmen on the JV, they had some really big freshmen that are coming up, so they're actually pretty big.
Now 1-1, that feels a lot better than 0-1, I guess.
Yeah.
And you start with 2 road trips. That's a tough way to start.
It is, and we knew going in, Royce City is a good team. They have a freshman that came in and has done really good for them, and she just works well with that team, and I think she really boosts that team. And we knew going in they were sixth in the state, and so we knew what a tough game it was going to be. And I think the nerves and being on the road just kind of got to mine, and we didn't play our best game that game, but we still came out in the second half, did some good things that looked good, so there's still very much potential for that game and against that team.
And now coming up the big event on Friday, the doubleheader, girls and guys, and people are looking forward to see how that feels and how that's like, and I know you're excited about it.
Yes, I think it'll be good for our girls just because there'll be more people in the stands for them, and it gets them excited. They like that. They like when people go to the game, so it will be really good for them and good for the parents if they have kids in both, so it makes it a lot easier for them. So I know mine are excited about it, so if they're excited, then it doesn't bother me one bit.
And I think about Greenville, they're pretty scrappy. They're they're going to put a good effort on the floor against you.
Yes, they're very aggressive, so they'll play us super aggressive and come out on us, but I think we'll match up well with them too, because we're pretty aggressive too defensively, so I think it'll be a pretty good matchup.
Shadavia Porter led the Lady Cats with 19 points. Danielle Godbolt finished with 15 points. Tiara Rose had 7 points. Kate Womack had 4 points. Colbria Harrison and Terrella Kelly had 3 points apiece. Aaliyah Abram, Nyla Lindley, and Autumn Tanton had 2 points each. Porter, Rose, Godbolt, and Harrison all hit a 3-point basket. The Lady Cats are now 19-4 for the season, and they'll play Greenville at home Friday at 6:15 p.m. as part of a Lady Cats and Wildcats evening of basketball at Sulphur Springs Gym. The Wildcats soccer team battled to a 1-1 tie with Nevada Community Tuesday night in the Wildcats regular season home opener at Gerald Prim Stadium. And Wildcats coach Alexi Upton said Community was a good, solid opponent.
They played really well. 2 or 3 guys play high-level club. I talked to their coach before the game. Soccer's advancing to the point where, nobody's a free game anymore. Everybody's good. Everybody knows how to play. Everybody knows how to play the system. So nothing's a free game anymore, and every team that you're going to play is going and going to compete with you. It was a 1-1 tie. We played well, and if we would have just finished our chances, we would have definitely came out with a win, but it's all good. Yeah,
they get ahead. They're ahead at halftime, and you're beginning to wonder, I guess, if we're going to get back, and we had a big goal there in the second half.
Yeah, I'm never too worried about us steering the ship and getting back to where we belong because we can, and I know we can. But, yeah, I was a little – they caught us off guard, that's for sure. They got a goal early, and it was amazing goal, and we kind of just built our way back into the game, and we had tons of second half chances, and we just didn't finish it off, and it's frustrating, but at the same time we got to go finish games off and do what we're supposed to do. So.
How about Alejandro Diosdado now 2 goals as the leading scorer on the Wildcats team?
Yeah, that's the thing. We're going to be defensively sound. We're not going to score a million goals, so we need guys like him and Enrique Arellano, Omar Hernandez when he comes back from his ankle injury. We need guys like that to step up and score because we don't have a million goal scorers. So whenever we have the opportunity to score, we need to score. So.
And you had a couple of chances right down the stretch. I think you hit the crossbar, and it seemed like somebody kept hitting it toward the goal and just couldn't quite put it in.
We had about 5 to 8 chances within the last 15 minutes of that game, and we just didn't score any of them, And so that's something that we're working on in practice, and that's something that we're trying to get better at, attacking runs and finishing our chances. I think if we can get better at that part of our game, that we're going to be really dangerous because defensively we play well, we keep the ball well. So.
Another tournament coming up. Hopefully the weather will be a little bit better than we encountered in the last one. Longview, what kind of teams will we see there?
In our group, we have New Summerfield, which is a brand new school, or a brand new group, their first year. They're south of Jacksonville. We also have Jacksonville, and then we have Tyler Chapel Hill. So it's a group that we can definitely go play with and win, and I'm very confident about what we can do. So. The
Wildcats are now 1-1-1 for the season. The Saltillo Lady Lions improved to 3-0 in district play with a 52-22 win over Avenger on Tuesday. The Lady Lions built their lead throughout the game, outscoring Avenger in every quarter. Maddie Smith led the Lady Lions with 15 points. Chandler Bain had 14 points. Brittany Peoples scored 10 points. Jocelyn Ochoa added 5 points. Anna Reeder scored 4 points. Paisley Kastner and Christina Wade had 2 points each. The Lady Lions improved their season record to 19-8, and the Lady Lions will be playing Bloomburg on Friday. Saltillo Lions basketball team opened district play with a 55-48 loss against Avenger on Tuesday. The Lions fell behind at the half 30-19, and despite outscoring Avenger 29-23 in the second half, the Lions could not make up that first half deficit. Chris Bokhorst led the Lions with 18 points. Matthew Gurley scored 15 points. Andrew Redburn and Ben Moore had 6 points each. Eddie Oleo scored 3 points. The Lions' season record slips now to 15-8. The Lions will also play Bloomburg next on Friday. And finally, the North Hopkins Panthers basketball team got a big win Tuesday as the Panthers defeated Wolf City 62-59 in overtime.
Thanks for watching Channel 18 News. Have a great evening.
Pretty much walking under his own power right now, but he's walking a little bit awkwardly. You can tell that leg is still giving him some grief there. Probably cramped up. Goal kick for the Wildcats. Coming up by David Marino. 29:03 left to play here in the second half. Wildcats trailing 1-0. They need to get something going here. Ball was kicked out and off community players. This is Angel Landino right on the touchline, I should say. Now the ball driven up the field off the official and out of bounds, and throw in for the Braves. This is Jonathan Fonseca. He throws it in. Wildcats trying to take it away, but Community's got it back in their defensive end. Wildcats chasing. That ball comes down the field. And now the Wildcats kick it in their defensive end. They've got control from the defense. They'll hammer the ball up the field with a header. That's going to shoot across the touchline. And it'll be a throw-in for Nevada Community. 28:06 and counting here in the second half. The Wildcats trailing 1-0. Very stingy Nevada Community defense. There's the throw-in for Nevada Community. Wildcats trying to come out of there with it. Yanez moving it down, finds a teammate to the left of the box. He's well marked. And now maneuvering to kick it and chase it. And will kick toward the center. And no, there's a shot in the goal for the Wildcats. So a Wildcat goal, and that is the second of the season for Alejandro Diosdado. And that ties the score at 1-1 with 27:32 to go. It's a great Wildcat effort to bring that ball in to the left of the box and fight off players, and then to get the ball into the center where Diosdado was able to put it in the net.